Welcome to the So Social Radio Show. I'm your host, Richard Martin, here with my amazing co-host,
cheri-Martin, and we are the WCN Interactive Team, business growth, marketing, and social media strategists, helping you to
dream it, plan it, build it, and most importantly, successfully do it.
For growth, prosperity, and success. And each Wednesday at 12 noon on TalkNetworkRadio.com, we share tips and techniques to grow you and your business, plus demystify social media and marketing for you so you can have more fun.
And my favorite, more profits.
Yes, yes, yes. And also we want to invite you, if you need to take a break from our show, if you're running out the door, make sure you've downloaded that free app to your iPhone or your Android. That's the Talk Network Radio app. Take us on the go. You never have to miss a show.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
We also want to invite you to connect with us on Facebook at So Social Radio Show. Give us a like while you're there. Let us know what topics you'd like to hear a conversation on. We're all about education, and we want to bring you what you want to learn, help you stand out and grow your business.
Absolutely want to do that. Let's talk about our sponsors for a minute that make it possible for us to be here.
Sounds great.
Okay. I want to start off with Toastmasters, a world leader in communication and leadership development. Find out how you can improve your speaking and leadership skills. Visit toastmastersd84.org.
Also, Constant Contact, an award-winning company empowering small businesses and nonprofits to grow and succeed through email marketing. You can be a marketer with one toolkit, one login. Actually, try out Constant Contact with a 60-day free trial. Go to bit.ly/WCN free CTCT. That's bit.ly/WCN FREECTCT and get started growing your marketing list today.
And EverythingBrevard.com, a Brevard County, Florida community website, keeping you up to date with everything that's happening in Brevard. And get your business listed on EverythingBrevard.com.
And also our newest sponsor, the Business Acceleration Summit. And the next one is in September. That's September 28, 29, and 30th, 2017. The Business Acceleration Summit is a 3-day event where you can, there's breakout sessions, there are leadership skills, how to grow your business with leveraging money, marketing, everything you need all together in one area. And you can find out more about the speakers, the mentors at businessaccelerationsummit.com, and definitely get registered for that next one in September. It is a phenomenal event, and it's fun being a partner with Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon does an amazing job of putting all of that together. It's a mountain load of work for sure.
She is actually a powerhouse when it comes to using PR and how to get a lot of free PR. So you definitely want to follow her to get more of your information out there and get more exposure.
So what's on the agenda for today? One of my favorites.
Well, Richard, I have found that just through my doing workshops and trainings and working with, consulting with clients, that there are a number of individuals that realize the importance of social media. They are on it. They're using it. They've had some successes, but they're not having. They don't really know what type of success to expect. They have what their desire is. So what I thought would be a fun topic today would be to talk about some of the advantages of social media. There's four components, or that, when you think about social media and you keep these 4 things in mind, then it's kind of shifting that mindset a little bit, that you have to understand again that it is something that it does take work to do social media, any marketing. It is just a piece of your marketing. It's not the only thing you do. Yes, the platforms are free. However, to really be consistently present, it takes time, and time is not free. So I thought we'd kind of just break down some of the advantages of using social media for your business. And when you think about these 4 topics or 4 components we're going to share today and have a conversation on, think how you can use and do this effectively. And I know the first one is that I really want to bring to mind and talk about is one of your favorite subjects.
Brand awareness. But I want to look at brand not from a corporate perspective. I want to look at a brand from a personal perspective that then leads into a corporate perspective. Because in social media, there are business pages, but most of us work our business page in conjunction with our personal profile in order to get the business social relationship put together. So people know us, and this is really important for small businesses, solopreneurs, professionals on that, where you're putting your face and your name on the line every day.
Well, I was going to say, social media actually began as a personal tool. The personal interaction, so to speak.
Yes.
And I remember Facebook when we first started, for example. They had groups. The groups was really where you did your business promoting.
Correct.
And it was, they were not like what they are today. And then when they rolled out the Facebook business page and you created a business page, it kept people, and the whole purpose was to keep people from using their personal profile for their business, because that's what many people were doing. And again, we had to go back and remember this is a communication tool, communication sites or platform, so that we would have conversations with people. And again, that's where that personal touch comes in. So yes, definitely when we rolled out, they rolled out the business pages and we started doing, putting our business content out there, we started focusing on our company brand for the top of mind awareness. So I like how you said you're going to start there, kind of talk about, what you can do for brand awareness for your company, and then let's kind of flow into the personal branding.
Yeah, if you're a small business owner, like I said, a professional or something along those lines, people are going to know you by your business. So you build the trust factor from your business, and eventually let it migrate over into the personal. But posting on business, we have the 80-20 rule. 20% of it should be personal
on the business
page.
Side of the platform.
80% of it should be business that I'll describe as business light. You're not going up there and say buy me, come to my event. But you figure out a way to make that statement where it's subtle. You're attracting people to it and where they want to take a look at it. And then from there, you can lead them to wherever you want to lead them. Mm-hmm. But the whole thing is it's still a relationship marketing tool when we look at this, whichever area you want to jump into it with.
Mm-hmm. Now, we talked about content marketing a few weeks ago on the So Social Radio Show, and I know at that time we kind of gave a formula and what to think through when you're focusing on your business topics that you're posting on your business pages there on the platforms. But mention real quick a little bit about the importance of just not posting pictures on social media, but making sure you're actually putting your own spin on a picture or something putting a little bit of text in it. Why is that important?
Well, again, it's all about getting known, getting people to know who you are in putting this together. Now, when you put a picture up there, excuse me, Google and Facebook and all those things have algorithms where they can pretty well interpret what you're saying now today. So you put your picture up there, it's interpreted as text. But the text copy that we want to talk about is what you're saying about an image that you put up there or just a copy that you put up there. There's this, 900-pound gorilla out there, okay? And it can be very nice to us, or it can throw its weight around on that. And it's called search engine optimization. And the big brother obviously is Google on on putting that out there. But even though most of us think of Google as SEOing our website, keywords there and keywords in social media are the same thing.
Well, that's what the point I wanted to bring up is that within the social sites, there are search bars.
Correct.
And when you do a search for a specific topic, whether you use a single word or a group of words, a phrase, for example, you don't necessarily have to put that pound sign, which is the hashtag, in front of it. But if you put that in that search bar, it's going to bring up topics along that, kind of a stream of conversation that's happening around that topic, that word or that group of words. And you can actually, it's almost universal now. You can choose to see what pages are out there with those words or that word, what posts are actually being posted on social media on that specific platform. In other words, they're going to pull the text that you place on your text box on your business page, and all of that can help you with more brand awareness, because if you're using a word that others are also using frequently on that platform and someone does a search for that word, you're going to be seen within that stream of conversation. So that gives you that top of mind awareness, more brand awareness. You'll be more visible, so to speak. And then someone that may not know who you are, they may be curious to know more, and then they'll click through to your page and see more postings and see more, maybe go read your profile, more about your business, see your website, click there and go through to your website. So all of that has to do with that brand awareness. So you want to make sure that your business page is set up to represent your company. You have a nice, clean logo, and most of us put our logo in that profile picture because that is basically becomes an icon, and it follows all your postings across that platform. In other words, if I have a picture of just, I don't know, maybe just trying to think if like for a florist, if I just put a picture of a flower and that's what they saw, but they really wouldn't register that with me if I changed it out all the time. So you would want to use an image that people would recognize you immediately when they see that, and then know that you posted something, and that would follow along. So if you have, just real quick, so you don't want to use the same picture on your personal profile or your business profile so that people can tell the difference and know exactly where that's coming. So that's where you'd really want to make sure that you're having that brand recognition for your company with your logo there.
Very well stated. You know, on the personal side, we want our mugshot, so to speak, on that. Mm-hmm. But, we have our logo in there. Now, we have the WCN, but we kind of tilted it 45 degrees out, so it kind of sits sideways, which is obviously to attract attention. And we have, from time to time, get people to say, your image is crooked. Well, yes, it is, but no, it's not. It's intentionally put together so that it does draw that attention. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit different, but still easily recognizable. Yeah,
that's on our WCN Interactive. And I think right now we actually have a picture of us with that says social media strategist above it, because we've been doing some speaking gigs, and so people would recognize that. So those are the two images we use and switch out. But normally when one is there, it's there for a while. And on our social radio show, we do have our picture of us with our headsets on that kind of show us having fun at the radio station. So again, we have our logo on our cover image. So there's all sorts of different ways that you can make sure that when you're setting up your business page on any of the social platforms, you make sure you have good brand recognition. That is going to really help people relate to you, also build that relationship with the company. However, people really don't do business with a logo or do business with a company So that's where that personal branding comes in.
Yeah, I mean, you have a small mom and pop operation, a big corporation. People do business with people. They don't do business with your logo. They don't do business with your Facebook page or your website or any of that. Those are all tools that are out there to bring people together. Mm-hmm. And that is the only purpose of what goes on any of the stuff that's online. It's all bringing it together. Twitter, LinkedIn, it's all the same. You want to bring people to you in a very organized, non-threatening, very comfortable environment. And that's why when we sit here and we dig through all this stuff, it's what we call the art of unselling. Okay? Sure, we all need money in our bank account. Okay? But by the same token, we want to bring it there with the least resistance possible. We don't want to be the snake oil salesman of the 20s and 30s and all that stuff that was going around. We want to be more genuine. We want to build the relationship side of it. You can go back in the archive and we have something on there on relationship marketing too. So you can do this, but it's very, very important that we understand that this is where your credibility comes from. This is where people want to start sharing you because they know, like, and trust you. They want to become part of your team. They want to join in with you. And it doesn't matter what your business is. This is the focus of social media. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, doesn't matter. YouTube, the same aspect of what's going on there. Facebook Live, all the same.
I can see this playing a very huge advantage for small businesses over a large corporation, being able to really leverage your personal brand, because large corporations, I can't see them being able to do that as easily as a small business, an entrepreneur, a small mom and pop shop, where they can really bring in that personal touch, talking about, more how they got into the business and what they're doing, to, maybe they're bringing in and doing interviews with their employees or something very personal. And I'm trying to use an example of a large corporation, that they have thousands of employees. They would not be able to go in and do a photo op of each of those employees and start talking about them on social media. Whereas a small business, you could actually introduce each of those employees through your social media sites to those fans, to those connections, and people start relating a little bit more, and they start feeling that they're part of that. I've seen that along, the different avenues of social media, where I feel more connected to a small company that is really thinking of me and helping me get to know them better. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? So that's kind of how you have to figure how you can stand out. It's always about being stand out. It's always about having somebody think of you at the right time. It doesn't matter whether you're in a small business or you're in a large major corporation. Large major corporations, everybody wants to get promoted. Everybody wants to climb that ladder. Mm-hmm. for the most part on that. And in order to do that, you have to create the brand where you stand out on putting it there, where you're seen as the one that can handle that next promotion, that next job that's moving on. Now, can it be overdone? Obviously, certainly it can. But the awareness is the important part, mm-hmm. as being that one that cares, that's competent, that really wants to help out. So what you're doing is really making sure, for brand awareness, that one of the biggest advantages of social media is it provides an opportunity for that brand awareness, top of mind awareness, visibility, which is going to help you get a greater reach if you really focus on building your credibility with your brand identity and then taking it to that next level as a small business and start letting people get to know you. In other words, get uncomfortable and let your fans and your connections start to really trusting you. Not only just, getting to know you and like you, but start trusting you by allowing them to know more about you. And that is, I know it gets tricky when I'm sitting with a Again, a client, I'm in a training session with them, and they just, well, I don't want anybody to know that anybody on my personal page to know about this business page, and I don't want to have any of this. I don't want people to know on this business page who I am. And so my question is that what attracted you to me? Why did you choose me as your trainer? Well, because people talk about you. People, you have good testimonials. You talk to me. You don't talk about yourself so much. You always make sure, I felt you cared, that you gave me information, and I felt like I really knew you. I just really loved it when you and Richard got up in that biplane and you showed the video and everything. In other words, we became real.
We came real. They knew us. They were comfortable enough to at least approach us through social media, that's as far as social media goes.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I ask them, okay, if you went to a website and there was no information about the owner of the website, no phone number, all you had was a contact form, but you had no idea where they were located. There was no phone number, no email, just a contact form. And they did a little about the company, but they didn't talk about the owners of the company or any of the history. What would you feel comfortable enough to buy from them? No. Then why would you assume that somebody on social media coming to your business page, if all you're doing is talking about business, maybe guiding them to go where they can buy from you, but you're not really letting them know who you are or building a relationship with you? I mean, then how can you expect them to take action and buy from you? So I hopefully, I hope that I am able to help our listeners today understand the importance of letting the mask down. Let people know who you are if you truly want to grow your business and gain more visibility out there, because again, people do business with people they know, like, and trust, and that is the actual factual truth.
It is. And the people that you know, like, and trust are the ones you remember. They're the ones that you don't have to go to your Rolodex or your online, archives there to pull up who they are and what's going on. So, I mean, that's the big thing, is standing out and being rememberable on that, and providing value on that. Yeah, and value comes in a lot of different ways on that, but probably the biggest, most easy way that most of us think of it is customer service.
Yeah, it very much so. I mean, this is customer service at its peak using social media.
Correct. It is.
You're easier to access. I do not like going through those automated phones. There's still some companies we associate with that when I need an answer, I've got to go pushing 1 and 2 and 3 and never get to talk to a live person. And I find myself yelling at the darn phone. I know I can go to social media and put something there and privately message them. And so that's where you have to really stand out and provide outstanding customer service through social media.
Most all of your really good, not very good, but good and above retail establishments have amazing customer services that they provide, and they monitor social media. Of course, they also have robots that monitor social media there too. But it's so easy to be done.
Well, I mean, you can set up, there's so many different tools out there now to automate everything. However, and that's fine. You can set up so many different, so much different criteria, like within maybe say Google Alerts is one. That's one a lot of people use because it is a free tool that they can go in and put specific phrases or names or companies, and even your competitors if you want to be alerted to keep up to date what they're doing. There's so many different things you can do. So you can go to google.com/alerts and set that up. And then if somebody's chatting about you, or if there is any type of chatter out there, you would be alerted via email, and you'd be able to respond to that, because that's where you can really provide that outstanding customer service. And this is the second big advantage of having social media. And that way you can be aware of what's being said about you. It does allow you to, as a business, communicate and be either proactive or reactive in real time.
I mean, that's that's an amazing thing, because when somebody says something, you're there, you're on top of it on that. We all mess up, so that's not the point. The point is, how do you react proactively to solve something? There's customer service issues all the time, whether it's product-based or service-based. There's always misunderstandings, always things that are happening out there.
Well, and that's why it's important. We emphasize the importance to have that brand awareness. You have to be consistently messaging, posting, getting your information out there. For customer service, you have to be consistently monitoring it, and then you have to consistently respond, because that is one of the shortages that, if you fall short and you don't respond when someone posts something on as a comment or on your timeline, or on, or they message you through LinkedIn, or maybe they send you something through Twitter, message you through Twitter, whatever. If you don't respond, then what does that look like to that person that communicated? Because this is a form of communication today.
Yeah. Remember 3-4 years ago, there was an amazing video put out there by a gentleman that was flying on a particular airline that I won't mention. But he was a musician, and they damaged his guitar. They just kind of threw it off the luggage compartment, and it kind of shattered. Well, this guy took this and put a YouTube video together that was amazing on putting this out there this way. And, the airline company didn't like it, but there wasn't anything they could do to get rid of it.
Well, and this particular topic here has become viral again because of some of the situations we've been hearing, and especially on Facebook, about all the different problems on airlines. But this particular lesson, it went global, virally. I mean, it just everything instantaneously, and eventually this airlines did resolve it, but not immediately. They just kind of poo-pooed it away, and this became an actual case study that is now taught in colleges about customer service, about
managing expectations,
everything,
solving problems with the customer's heart first and not yours.
I will, for our listeners, I'm going to actually post this onto our social radio show page, the link to the YouTube video so that you can watch it. And there's other videos that have expanded from it. Again, because it just is such an important lesson. And I know when we were teaching, gosh, Richard, we've been teaching social media since 2010. And we used this as a case study when we were first teaching back in 2010. And people's eyes, their jaws dropped when they watched it, because it's so funny, but yet what impressed them was the action that it achieved.
Absolutely so, yeah.
And if you watch any of the news stations out there, all of the, different cable news stations out there, they all address this.
Yeah, we had a cable company a few years back that you had an issue.
Oh, yeah.
On that. And, that was an example of something that was amazing customer service. I mean, there's no other way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, basically, and I'm not sure if I've ever shared this with our audience or not, but again, it's our former cable company that has just been bought out by another one here locally. But we just were not getting the satisfaction we needed from our internet speed. We thought the fastest internet speed. We were paying for the fastest internet speed, and it was dragging. And at that time, they were actually promoting a faster speed, and on their TV ads, radio ads, the direct mail pieces that were coming through our mailbox and all that. And so I just put out, just kind of not, aggressively, and I just kind of put it out on Twitter and asked, I said, hey, is anybody else noticing a slowdown on their internet speed since so-and-so has been advertising their next bigger speed, whatever. And within seconds, I had a private
seconds. That notice. Seconds.
I had a private message come to me through my Twitter account, asking if for my phone number or giving me a phone number to call, and immediately we connected, and it was satisfaction I was not getting when I was calling calling the phone number here on our bill and everything. I wasn't getting any satisfaction. I wasn't even getting anybody to talk to me about it and just telling me that there was not a problem, that, and we were running the speeds on our computer and all that. And I said, yeah, there is a problem, And so anyway, long story short, yeah, this was a company that definitely monitored their online activity. And it's very important to do that. So, people are talking about you. So don't be, I hear some people say, I don't want to get online. I don't want to do Facebook or any of those because I don't want anybody to say anything bad about me. Well, unfortunately, I'm not saying that everyone's going to have something bad said about them. But if people are talking about you, you want to be on there monitoring it and finding out. And that's the way you can really use the advantage of customer service and setting up those monitor, accounts, because, when customer service is done right, it has the potential to go viral. And when customer service is not done right, it also has the potential to go viral. So you want to make sure that you are on top of that. And again, there are a number of tools that you can use to automate this and monitor it. And then, but definitely have a real person, a genuine person, make those phone calls or send out those emails and such. So outstanding customer service is the number 2 advantage to using social media for your business.
Oh, absolutely. So there's no other way to go on that. Mm-hmm. It's also when people are commenting back and forth, if you'll do a little due diligence, it's a great way to acquire leads. People are talking back and forth. People comment in, and people go, "Well, that's just good or bad. It's this or this or this." But somebody says something, and you're monitoring it. Oh, I do that. I can help you with that particular issue that you're dealing with. So when you look at that from that standpoint, you're doing Google ads or anything else that you use to attract business. That can be extremely expensive very quickly. Mm-hmm. But when you look at it from the standpoint of being known before you're needed and having a reputation out there and having people support you through social media, that's a great big star on your back. There's just it's just the best way to do it.
Well, exactly. And I know that myself, we all know we need to prospect. We need to bring in sales for our company. That's how we grow our company. We do a lot of different, networking. We belong to associations, etc. But social media allows you, to me, it's one of the best prospecting tools out there because one, you're building relationships, you're talking to people, and LinkedIn to me is the best prospecting social platform out there. There are so many great ways to use that tool to meet individuals that you may not have had an opportunity to meet otherwise. Again, it all depends on how consistent you are on there. But they have an advanced search on there and you can also, when you connect with people, maybe they are connected with someone you would love to be introduced to. You can even request them to introduce you. It's basically, it's networking on steroids, guys. It's just like, I love LinkedIn and it has really helped us to grow our business over the years. But again, it takes time, and I know the platforms are free and time is not. But if you, manage your time, block out time. We have to block out time on our calendars to market our business, to go to different events, to do our sales. I mean, if I remember when we started our business, I remember you door knocking.
Absolutely so.
And I remember I had a telemarketing team. I was a call center manager, and I know telemarketing worked. I mean, it did. So what I did, Richard, we set appointments for Richard to go out and meet people. But in the meantime, he'd be door knocking if we didn't have those appointments set. But we were constantly on the phone. I now look at this social media as the most affordable way to acquire leads, because you're connecting with people and getting to know them before that appointment. And let's just say that you're at a face-to-face networking event and you're meeting someone for the first time, and you strike up a conversation. You realize that it's a conversation for both of you that could go further. You definitely want to make sure you connect with them on social media to learn more about them, have them learn more about you, and also to keep the conversation going until you do have a chance to either get together or see each other again at another event. It isn't fast. I'm not going to, I never, like I tell my clients, you're not going to have instant gratification when you're on social media. It takes consistency, and I cannot impress that enough, that you have to continue doing it. So don't think that's all you're doing. It's just a piece of your activity. So make sure you are just on your calendar blocking out time to be doing this. You have to be prospecting, period.
Yeah, and it's not just that Richard's posting or Sherry's posting. You brought up a good point there. It's commenting. It's going out on other people's platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and commenting about that. Or as another way to say it, join in the conversation that's taking place there. Because, when you're communicating or having that conversation, people are going to get to know you. They're going to go from you commenting on somebody else's site to go, oh, I want to see who this Sherry is. And now you have an opportunity to make a friend or a fan. You can build it up that way, but it's extremely important that it's a 360, and it's just not one. You're not going one way. Mm-hmm. You got to put content out, and you got to help share content and join in the conversation.
Well, one of the things I like to do is when I connect with someone, we definitely connect on our personal profiles, and that's where we're having a conversation. But if I'm interested in a topic in their business or want to know more, I'll ask them, where can I get more information and learn more about something? Maybe I saw them discuss something, and they'll either take me to their business page or take me to their website, maybe take me to a blog or an e-commerce or YouTube where I can gather more information. And today, with the way because of the activity online, there should be no excuse that you haven't gathered something before you go meet someone at an appointment. The cold calling doesn't have to be anymore. Even if you pick up the phone and make phone calls, you should at least go take a look at their website, go see if they're on one of the social platforms, and gather more information. That way you're more comfortable. And, I find it so much easier before I go to a live event. If I pick something up on social media, maybe I saw where they had a new grandchild, or maybe they mentioned their child graduating from school, or maybe someone just had a celebration, or they had maybe their child, their sport team won or something. I take that and I store it. And then when I meet them at an event, that's a great conversation starter, because we don't always know. We all have these friends on social media. We really don't know them that well, but this is a way that you can get to know them better. It's just, I don't know. It does take practice. It does take time. I keep emphasizing the time, but it's worth it if it is going to bring you better results, because we want to definitely take our time and have it achieve the desires that we need. And in business, we all need to close business. But ask yourself, if you look at people that you would love to meet, that could be a good referral source for you, or that possibly could be a good customer, and you see them mention something that you have the solution for, You don't want to just go and say, hey, I've got the product for you here. Buy me, buy me, buy me. You want to go in and you start asking more questions. And then what do they realize? You care about them. And that helps you get in the door a lot easier. This is where you really have to think through on using social media. So using these affordable prospecting communication tools to grow your business again and meet more people is that third advantage that I just cannot say enough about.
Oh no, you can't, because that's where the bond is built. Mm-hmm. You get that relationship, and now it's not just business. It's not exchanging credit cards and all those type of things. It's, oh, I know Cheri. I like Cheri. I like to read her post. It's this. Oh, you get to see Cheri's kids. You get to become kind of an outside-inside part of somebody's business and family relationship as everything deepens. But that's the fun of social media. That's the strength of social media, and that allows you to build lasting businesses, mm-hmm. businesses that have the potential to go on as long as you want them to go on.
But notice, we talked about, prospecting. We talked about, using the tools to prospect. We talked about using it as a customer service tool. It all goes back to the first thing we spoke about today, and that's that brand awareness, building your reputation, your brand reputation.
Absolutely so. Why do you think, well, let's just take the restaurant business. Why do you think they advertise the way they advertise? They're all over. Even McDonald's is now trying to take over and compete with, what's the other coffee people? I'm going blank real quick.
Starbucks?
Starbucks.
They're a coffee shop now, yeah.
Yeah, because Starbucks started with coffee and then they put pastries. Uh-oh. Egg McMuffin? Oh, we got to get some coffee going here. We got to get something else happening in here. Dunkin' Donuts joined the fray also.
Well, I think what the biggest thing with McDonald's is all of a sudden they've done a lot of renovations with all their McDonald's places, and they now have internet. Look mm-hmm. at the different, when we go into it, we very rarely go into them if we're traveling. Like, grab that Egg McMuffin. I won't say I don't eat those Egg McMuffins, but that there are people in there that spend the whole day in there now, just like they do at Starbucks. They go in and do business because, everyone is really getting on board and realizing that you have to be where the people are.
And that's all part of what we're talking about here. It's all part about the visibility. It's all about the searching, because in the first part of it's not necessarily search engine optimization, so to speak, but it is searching. You go to places, and when you leave, you kind of talk about, well, I like this, I didn't like that. Very few places will ever be 100%, but you tend to build favorites after time. Mm-hmm. Well, let's go back here. I want some of this, or no, let's go over here. I want some of that.
Well, I think that is the biggest advantage of social media, is that it is. You want to drive traffic to either your brick and mortar storefront or to a website, or again to an e-commerce, to a blog. That is what social media is amazing for. It can really help you increase that traffic, direct that traffic, and we can even pull email into this, which is a part of social media. All of these pieces together can take individuals to where you want them to eventually buy from you. They're not buying from you on social media. They're building relationships with you, or you're building relationships with them. They're getting to know, like, and trust you. Now you have the advantage of taking them to where they can actually purchase from you. And that is what is the biggest advantage of social media, when you are really focusing on putting that information out there that attracts that ideal client to you. Again, it kind of goes back to talking about the content we did a few weeks ago, why you want to make sure that your content is resonating with your ideal client. And then you incorporate all that into your social media or your marketing strategy on your social media. You will start having more conversations. And through those conversations, direct them when they want to know more. Say, hey, we just launched this new product. It's ideal for you for what you were just talking about. Go take a look at it. Don't say go buy it. Go take a look at it. Here's the website. Here's where you can go and see it or learn more. And that's where people start going. I mean, it's an affordable way to drive traffic to where people can get to know more and learn more about what you offer and how you can help them.
Very well said. You're hot today. You're going.
Well, and it kind of goes back to what we talked a little bit about when we were talking about the keywords and branding. I mean, for search ranking, again, you rank in each of these platforms with the words that you put in your postings. But it also goes back to your platforms. And this is what I see when I do a lot of assessments on social media. People have their profiles in like their about section on their pages, or, LinkedIn company page, or even in Twitter, you can definitely put some, you have limited spaces on Twitter, but you can put some specific things, but always make sure you have a website address there so that people can click through to learn more. And like on Facebook now, you can put a call to action on your Facebook underneath the cover image. So take them to where they can learn more. It can be a video. It can be a phone number. It can be, again, to a specific page or a landing page, or even to go sign up for an email, or, if you want to get them onto your list to start growing your marketing list and be able to market more to them. So all of these things have to do with that driving traffic and getting seen in more searches on the social media. But in your postings, I cannot emphasize it enough. Make sure if you share something of, maybe it's an image or a video, or maybe it's an article that you want to share that someone else wrote, definitely give credit to wherever those things are coming from. But you want to make sure you put your little spin on it and use a keyword or something in that text, so that if somebody pick at least maybe a hashtag, the word or group of words with that pound sign in front of it, so that it will register in a search. Instagram especially, use lots and lots and lots of hashtags on Instagram. That's how, we need to, actually in a few weeks, we're going to be talking about Instagram. So there's so many different platforms and so many different strategies to use, but having and knowing these 4 advantages, again, the brand awareness, the outstanding customer service, as well as affordable, what do I want to call it? The affordable prospecting. My mind. I got so much on my mind here today.
Free prospecting in a lot of cases.
Free prospecting again, and then using it to really drive traffic to where you want to take them. And in fact, in about a minute, just share a little bit about the Facebook ads, for example. I mean, that's one of the best tools there. It isn't free, but it is very affordable.
Oh, it's extremely affordable
for driving traffic.
For driving traffic and taking people to where you want them to go. The interesting thing is, Facebook doesn't go off of Facebook. All these quote unquote keywords and search terms that we use in Facebook ads and boosting posts, it's all generated off of Facebook. So if you're interested in something, or you're interested in this new movie that came out, or this new restaurant that has just opened, you can go into Facebook and you do your search up there, and all those terms are inside of Facebook, because that's where we are all talking about our experiences, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we had fun at.
It is where we have built our social profile.
that too, yes.
Like it or not, if you're online anywhere, you have a social profile, and it is registering, and that is why things are delivered to you in a certain way.
Yep.
We probably need to do a whole topic on Facebook ads, because it is an awesome tool. I know I was talking to a new client this morning, and she's, I've done Facebook ads, but they've never worked for me. I can't wait to learn from you and see how they're going to work better, because it is truly. But guess what we're out of?
Time.
Time is so valuable.
This is it just goes so fast now.
It really does.
It's that, and it's so much fun, and we've got such a great audience and everything that's out there that we just love it.
So we need to say goodbye at this time. Oh, happy first day of summer.
Really,
happy
it is.
first day of summer. So enjoy the rest of your summer, and make sure you tune in again next Wednesday on talknetworkradio.com to the So Social Radio Show. And we'll be here sharing more insight on how you too can grow your business with social media.
With more fun and more profits.
Make it a great social week.
Bye.